Most how to start Airbnb advice that you see online is outdated, and in 2026, it's getting more and more competitive, and you need to understand the landscape if you're going to do this business. I have over 30 units myself. I've been doing Airbnb for 4 years. I'm on Airbnb, VRBObookings.com. I've seen the changes. I have a team. I automated. I've scaled it to over $1 million per year in revenue. And in this video, I'm going to break down everything you actually need to know to start a profitable Airbnb business in 2026. So everybody talks about Airbnb because of the passive nature of it, and that is correct. It is very passive. There are two major models that we focus on: Airbnb Arbitrage and Airbnb co-hosting. With Airbnb Arbitrage, you essentially go to a landlord, you sign a lease agreement with the landlord, you then take that property, furnish it, make it look good, list it on Airbnb, and profit the difference between the revenue in Airbnb minus the rent, utilities, and cleaning costs. Then you have Airbnb co-hosting. This is when you go to a landlord and you say, hey landlord, I really like your property. I think if you let me take it and manage it for you, put it on Airbnb, and we split the profits, you get 80%, I get 20%, you can make a lot of money. In this situation, the landlord pays for everything and they end up making more money than they would from a long-term tenant. Both of these models are great. They have their pros and cons to each, but both of them are great business models to make an additional $1,000 to $2,000 per month per property with Airbnb Arbitrage still in 2026. However, you need to understand that it's only passive if you do the right things. Otherwise, Airbnb can honestly be a very big headache. The first thing you need to understand is how to pick the right Airbnb strategy. So we talked about arbitrage and co-hosting. Those are the two best beginner-friendly models I recommend if your whole goal is to scale with cash flow. Now, if your goal is equity, the best way to do that would be purchasing a vacation home for Airbnb. However, I would not recommend doing that for your first deal. I would recommend doing an arbitrage or co-hosting deal so you have some experience under your belt, so that when you do go buy a property, you know how to properly run it, you know how to set it up, and you're not going to potentially waste all of this money purchasing a property that's not performing the way that you want. Now, when picking a market in 2026, you want to be strategic. No longer can you just wave your magic wand and go anywhere and expect it to do really well. We used a combination of things, including AirDNA, profitable calculators to determine whether or not it would actually be profitable, but let me give you some guidelines. If you're going to go to any sort of major city, typically downtown apartments will do really well. If you want to get bigger 3-4 bedroom homes, the suburban areas outside of cities and along the beach coastlines or anywhere where there's vacation homes such as lakes, ski trips, etc., will all be really good places to start Airbnb. What probably won't be a very profitable Airbnb is a small town that's near you that doesn't have a lot of competition, but there's not a lot of traveler demand. Things like hospitals, vacations, large employment companies like Amazon, Microsoft, etc. These are all things to take into account when picking a place to target for Airbnb. And if you know the system of how to pick the place, it's going to be a lot easier to make sure the deal you do get is profitable. Now, when running the numbers, you actually want to understand how everything works. For example, Airbnb takes about 15% fee on top of every single booking now. So you have to make sure that you're bringing in the proper amount of revenue to account for that for it to still be profitable. You need to understand your gas, electric, utilities, rent, if there's a security deposit, how much restocking fees cost, if there's any insurance that's involved with this, which for the most part, unless you have a vacation home, you don't need insurance. You could actually use Airbnb's air cover for pretty much 95% of the situations, which is free and included when you use Airbnb. However, you have to make sure that you do in fact understand the numbers, do the research, and you can use websites like AirDNA to get a rough idea of the revenue range that a similar property could be doing in the area that you're looking at to make sure that everything makes sense and that you are still going to profit at least $1,000 per month per a unit. Now, the best way for you to still get a property in 2026 as a beginner with no prior connections, relationships, etc., would be to use Zillow.com and Apartments.com and actually outreach and give them calls and explain that you are a corporate housing company, aka short-term rental company, and that you are interested in short-term rentaling their home. Make sure you have a compelling pitch, be able to answer all their questions, go see the property, tour it, shake hands with the owner, do the proper analysis, and then give them an offer. Usually that offer would look like you get 2 weeks free potentially on a 1 to 2 year lease, and they will want to work with you because you are a business. That means you pay rent every single month and you're in hospitality, so you have to make sure that everything is always in the best condition. So understanding this pitch and reaching out to properties that look good, that fit the criteria we talked about earlier, will be the easiest way to actually land your first Airbnb deal in 2026. Now, when setting up the property, you actually want to be very budget conscious. So here are some hard numbers that I would recommend in general. This can obviously vary dependent on market, but your all-in setup cost for a 1-bedroom should not exceed $6,500 to $7,000. For a 2-bedroom, $7,500 to $8,000. For a 3-bedroom, $10,000, and for a 4-bedroom, $12,000. This will ensure that you are going to be profitable and have that payback period, meaning the amount of times it takes for you to pay back the debt in order to be profitable, somewhere in the 4 to 7 month range. This is a good range. You also want to use furniture like Amazon, Wayfair, these types of sites. You don't want to overpay. You don't want to think that just because yours looks the best or you have the highest quality furniture, people are going to stay there. That's not the case. You want to invest in a good bed, in a good pillow. Otherwise, you want to invest more in decorations and how the place looks, because that's what's really going to bring in the bookings, and that's what people care about. And the amenities that's on property is more important than how nice the dresser is in the bedroom, for example. Now, when actually listing your property, you don't only want to list it on Airbnb. You want to list it on Airbnb, VRBO, and bookings.com to ensure you're getting the most amount of eyeballs, the most amount of people who want to book your place. And you want to use a channel manager. I recommend Hospitable. It allows you to connect all 3 of these to your listing so that it can all be managed in one place. When creating your listing, you want to use a professional real estate photographer. You want to have a really good title that calls out the amenities that your place has, and you want your first 5 photos to also show all the top amenities that your place has and why people should stay there to want to be with you. Another big thing with this is that once you are up and running for 3 months, you can get Airbnb superhost status. This is important because Airbnb will continually drive organic traffic to you. You get a trust badge, people view you as more trust, and if as long as your rating is above a 4.9, you should be easily able to get this superhost status. Now, when it comes to operations and systems, there are a few things you want. Like I mentioned, you do want Hospitable as a channel manager to manage and automate messages between Airbnb, bookings, and VRBO. I also recommend using Price Labs. Price Labs is a software that allows you to maximize the amount of money you're making per night. So what Price Labs does is it search your market and will be able to set your pricing for your property based on demand, occupancy, what hotels are charging, what nearby Airbnbs are charging, is Taylor Swift coming to town, is it the World Cup, etc. Making sure that you're maximizing the amount of money you're making on your property. If you let Airbnb or these other softwares do it for themselves, you are going to dramatically make less money because those algorithms aren't necessarily strong when it comes to price optimization. It's also important you have a good cleaning team that has fair rates, that's also very communicative, especially if you're going to scale more in that city. I recommend using WhatsApp, a free messaging software, to create a group chat where the cleaners could actually send you pictures after every single time they clean, and you can have all your communication about what the items need to be restocked or what issues have been had and how the cleans went via WhatsApp. Now, once you do hit 2 or 3 properties, this is where you will want what's called a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is someone who works abroad that can help you manage all of your Airbnb listings, handle guest communication, do restocks, and accounting for your business. I recommend hiring somebody who is an ex-Airbnb employee. So since Airbnb hires all of its employees from the Philippines, they can actually work in your time zone. They're extremely reliable, they speak great English, and they're relatively cheap. You can get one working for you for 40 hours a week for only $500 per month. So as long as you have 2 or 3 properties, it makes it really worth it. And then it makes this extremely passive investment for you. You can find these types of virtual assistants on sites like onlinejobs.ph. Now, when scaling, you have to keep 2 things in mind. If you're in a good market, I would continue to scale in that market, and you want to use something called business credit to continue to scale, and you want to reinvest your profits. The way you do this is you open up an LLC, limited liability company. Once you get back your EIN number, you can actually go to Chase, Amex, and apply for what's called 0% interest business credit cards. Basically, credit cards that give you 0% interest for the entire year. You can now use that to pay for all the furniture, and then use the profits from the property to pay back that debt. On top of that, you usually get APR intro bonus points, meaning like I got free $800 that the credit card gives you for signing up. So that's pretty nice as well. I would also use that card to pay for all of your restocks and cleaning fees so you can continue to accumulate points. As you scale as well, you'll be able to negotiate with your cleaners to actually lower their per clean costs so your margins increase and get better and better. Now, I personally started doing co-hosting, and then I switched to arbitrage, and then I switched to apartment building scaling, where I would get 5 to 10 units at once in an apartment building complex. It's a little bit more advanced. Maybe I'll talk about it in another video, but for anybody that's just starting that wants to get to 3 to 5K, I would recommend doing arbitrage and co-hosting for 2 to 3 bedroom properties. Now, if you're interested in learning just a little bit more about this business model and understanding whether it's right for you, I have a bunch of free videos you can watch in my school community. I have the link down below that you can join absolutely free and go through a free mini course on Airbnb. Now, if you're 100% confident you want to scale and you want help learning how to do that, making sure you're doing all the right things from getting the correct business funding, to finding the right property, to not overspending, to maximizing profits and scaling quickly, then I have a link below where you can book a call with our team to talk about what it would actually look like to work together and create a game plan in the area you're in to accomplish that over the next 6 to 12 months. And of course, if you have any questions, you can comment those down below as well. Please give me a like and follow. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one.